Welcome back to Simon Scott Assembly Hall on this Sunday afternoon in Bloomington. A busy one with the men's soccer team in action, the women's basketball team in action right here. It's 26-12 Indiana on top of North Florida. Ospreys have struggled to find a basket.
Shooting at 19% from the field right now. They've got good looks.
There's a good look from Lauren Gross, who finishes.
They just need to put more of those down if they want to have a chance.
Back within 12. Kiana Worthen still out there for the Hoosiers. Jalen Penn still on the bench ever since the technical foul just a couple minutes ago. Patberg looking for Royster. Nice save. And a great play again by the 5'1" Ty Purifoy down low. Making some big plays underneath the basket. That time she forces a jump ball.
Short but scrappy for Ty Purifoy. In there amongst the trees.
It'll stay Indiana basketball. Berger a pull-up. Another offensive rebound for Indiana. Patberg gets it to go.
Patberg has had a big game on the boards. That's her 8th rebound so far in only 15 minutes of play. Double-double watch, I guess.
7 offensive rebounds for the Hoosiers already in this one. Only 11 rebounds for the Ospreys total as that shot doesn't go for North Florida. Worthen to the basket. Too strong. Under 3.5 to go. Indiana doubling up North Florida here in the second quarter. Hoosiers currently riding 11 straight home wins. That shot doesn't go, and the Hoosiers will push it again. 11 straight home wins. 23-4 in non-conference games at home under Coach Morin as Allie Patberg banks at home. And Indiana's biggest lead of the contest, 16-30-14. North Florida is in the bonus if they can attack the basket. Idris for 3. Royster's giving her that.
She shot it 3 or 4 times, hasn't made it. No one's made a 3 in the game so far.
Wise pickpocketed by Purifoy. To the basket. Too strong, but a foul on Allie Patberg.
Purifoy is scrappy, making some big plays against much taller opponents.
Brenna Wise thought she was fouled when Purifoy took the ball away from her, and then Allie Patberg thought she didn't foul Purifoy, but both calls go North Florida's way. And now the 5'1" senior from Pensacola, Florida, will head to the free throw line. The lefty misses the first, and this is a lineup for North Florida with a lot of Southern roots, a lot of Florida roots on this lineup.
Yeah, many players from Florida, many transferred from community colleges in Florida. Purifoy at the line right now. She transferred from Gulf Coast State, where she was a 2-time NJCAA national champion, along with her teammate Janisha Green, also transferred from Gulf Coast State.
One of 2 at the line for Purifoy.
And those transfers make a big difference for North Florida, sort of like Indiana, actually.
Yeah, both teams with some important transfer pieces. One of them has the basketball for Indiana. That's Patberg on the left side. The other one now Wise. Worthen getting an extended amount of playing time, but she turns it over on that throw. Jalen Penn has been sent to the bench since she slammed the ball down out of frustration, picked up a technical foul, and has 2 personal fouls because of it. A 3 ball from long range is good for Lauren Gross.
Someone finally made one. The teams are combined 1 for 16 After Gross knocks that one down.
9% on the season from beyond the arc, but Coach Gibbs said she can stroke it, and you saw it right there. Worthen, another turnover. So what was the first step when you took over this project?
Well, it's like anything else. First, we want to understand the land, understand the property. And what we did here, we walked the land quite extensively. And if you think of it in these terms, every piece of property has power points to it. In other words, if you're going to walk around, if everybody was dropped off on a piece of property in a helicopter, and you walk around the land, there are certain places that you gravitate to. Certain places you'll go, you'll stop, you'll take a look around, and then you'll go in different directions. So first thing I did is I came out here and I had a sense of where what I call power points are, where people want to go to, where they want to stop, and where they're going to go from there. And we identify those power points, which this is one right here. This is one of the power points. If you can look out, look at the views that you have here. So think of it in this terms. If you were going to build a house, where would you want to build your house on this property? This is one of the places. Yeah.
So you mentioned earlier about the amateur golfer, the high handicap.
Right.
How does this course fit them? Someone like me who wants to come out here and play just casually.
Well, first thing, if you'll notice, of course this is dirt, but we've got a back tee, we've got this tee, and we've got 4 more teeing grounds down there. So we've got, on all these holes, we've got 6, 7, or 8 teeing grounds. So the first thing you do is you select the teeing ground that suits your game. The second thing we do is, for everyday play, the rough will be mowed down. Where you hit your ball, you can easily find. All the putting surfaces, with the exception of one, is open in the front. So it's going to allow the weaker player, the higher handicapper, to hit and land short and roll up on the green.
8-point lead for the Hoosiers, 7-12 first half. Al Durham with the basketball between the circles. Left side for Langford, screen from Morgan. Chest pass to Smith. Durham now right wing. Bounce pass over to Morgan, top of the key. McRoberts to Smith. Motion offense for the Hoosiers. Now Langford will drive. One-hand slam. Doesn't go. Rattles out. Decent defense by the Bears to force the miss. Here's Jones left wing. Mismatch with Morgan on him. Deep three for Unruh is off the mark. Smith the rebound. Errant pass for Durham, but he ends up catching up to it. 6:35 to go first half. 27-19 Hoosiers. Langford, McRoberts over to Smith. Good ball movement for the Hoosiers. Durham on the right wing, fouled by Mondesir.
I've been noticing Indiana getting close to those turnovers again. They had those 5 turnovers early, and I think a big reason why they turn the ball over so much is they not only do they telegraph their passes, but whoever they're passing to doesn't usually come to the ball and try to meet the ball as much. And so the Bears are able to step in front of that passing lane, pick it off, and create those turnovers. But Indiana's doing a much better job in the last couple of minutes.
Langford to Durham, but his alley-oop pass hit the rim. Durham tracks it down in the corner. Now Morgan back to the basket, driving to the hoop, banks it in. Koval slipped, and Morgan got a free lane to the basket. 29-19 Hoosiers double-digit lead with 6 to go in the first half. It's a 15-0 run for Indiana. That is not going to end as Mondesir misses the lay-in. And Durham the rebound up to Morgan on the right wing. Guarded by Unruh. Floats it inside for Langford. Backing down Mondesir. Langford turnaround. Jay doesn't go, but he draws a foul, and 2 free throws coming up for the most active free throw shooter in the Big Ten, Romeo Langford.
You mentioned that 15-0 run. That's over the last 8 minutes of gameplay. This game was tied at 19. The Bears actually had a 4-point lead. It's now a 10-point lead for the Hoosiers, and Romeo is going to try to extend that lead.
Romeo Langford at the line. First free throw on its way, and good. Devontae Green comes back in for Al Durham. Still no sign of Rob Finnessy since he went to the locker room with the injury. Langford hit the first, the second on its way, and good. Perfect swoosh from Langford. The Hoosiers lead by 12, still on that run, now up to 17 unanswered for the Hoosiers. DeAndre Jones turns it over. McRoberts picks it up. Here's Smith to the basket, up and under, and a pretty finish for the sophomore.
And that's a finish earlier in the season, maybe 4 games ago, where Smith probably tried to dunk that from the elbow. That time he lets the defender go past, then he just lays it in for the 2 points.
Hoosiers were down 19-14. It's now 33-19. Underneath, Koval misses the bunny, gets his own rebound, banks it in with the right hand. And finally, the Bears, for their first basket in over 9 minutes. It's 33-21 Indiana. McRoberts pestered top of the key. Now Smith has it, rotates to Langford. Floats it to Morgan. Back to Langford, right wing. Bounce past Morgan, back to the basket. Skips it to McRoberts, left wing. Kicks it out. Green, open 3. Got it. 36-21 Indiana with 4:40 to go in the first half. After Tuesday night's game where Indiana scraped out a win against UT Arlington, some fans thought today would be different, a rebound game for Indiana. That wasn't the case. The Hoosiers found themselves down by 8 in the second half, 48-40, before rallying off a big run to win 76-62 over UC Davis. Here are my 3 takeaways, starting with Juwan Morgan's big night. 31 points, 10 rebounds, 5 3-point shots, and he added 2 blocks to his credit as well. Those 5 3-pointers were his career high. 31 points, just 3 points shy of his career high last year against Notre Dame. Second takeaway is the 3-point shooting for the Hoosiers, 10 of 17. Now 5 of those from Juwan Morgan, but the team 10 of 17, 59% from beyond the arc for the Hoosiers. A big reason why Indiana was able to pull away with some big threes late in the game from guys like Juwan Morgan, Romeo Langford, and Justin Smith hitting some big threes down the stretch. Third takeaway is still that turnovers and on-ball defense are an issue for Indiana. 15 turnovers today for the Hoosiers, and several times the UC Davis guards, who were quick and slippery, were able to get past guys like Finnessy and Anderson and Langford to the basket for easy buckets, and that's something that Archie Miller wants to fix before they take on their next opponent, which is the Duke Blue Devils next Tuesday night on ESPN at 9:30. It's the big game as Indiana travels to Durham to take on the Duke Blue Devils.